This is my standard list. This is my boundaries / red flags list that I've experienced and also what I'm interested in. So don't jack me because of it. Like, don't make me feel bad because of what I like anyway. But yeah, if you want a screenshot, go ahead. Okay, so I might do 2 parts in this because it's a lot to explain. So attachment too early, insanity. You don't want somebody that's on you like 24/7. You just got to know them. That's weird. Also, I found it that men that compliment you on your physical appearance so much, it's like they're more infatuated with you than they're actually like you. So that's a sign to look out for. Talking about that too early, yeah, that's a dub. They're not even interested in you emotionally. Like, look out for that. Pushy, coercive, but that's already a given. No guy that actually really likes you would want to take up all your time and also like make you like coddled. So any guy that does do that, weird. His exes are crazy. I went into my other video about that, but usually that's like BS. I'll make a part 2 because it's a lot to explain. So.
And boundaries list. Some people were confused or didn't know where to start, so this video is about that. This also isn't my idea. This is their idea. I got it from them. This list helped me a lot. It helped me be a better person, have better relationships, and be able to say no. My list doesn't go in order. These aren't like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, that's not how mine works. I usually just add on to them, like whenever I think of them. Say, for example, if you've grown up around a lot of emotionally constipated and just people who aren't respecting your emotions or listening to them. So in your standards list or boundaries list, you would say, I want communicative, emotionally open, and understanding people who won't dismiss my emotions. There can also be preferences, like I have a preference for artsy people, but you can also have things in there where it's like, I will not stand for this. This goes for platonic or romantic relationships, but once you're aware of what you want, you'll learn to say no and only gravitate towards the good thing.
Hey everybody, welcome once again to Cap Social Network, my most popular YouTube channel. Out of the 3 YouTube channels that I have, Cap TV, for some of you who may not know about my very first channel, Cap TV, Cap Social Network, and my backup channel, Cap Social Network 2. Anyway, after these 2 women saying how they are looking for all these or expecting all these requirements and standards out of a man that I just showed you, what about how before these women probably created these same checklists, these same lists of standards, which to me is just flat out ridiculous. I guarantee you those same exact women happen, if they have kids, happen to have kids by one of those guys, one of those same kind of no good / street / hood guys. There's nothing that doesn't happen to meet none of those standards whatsoever. I find that's comical, and I find that pretty delusional at the same time. How these same women, a lot of these same women, in most cases, who have these high lists of requirements and standards for a man, if that same guy that I just mentioned, that same kind of hood guy, was to approach them at the opportune time, how they happen to lower their standards. Those same list of standards, did they go posting on social media now? And that just goes to show you how most black women's standards, in particular, by me being a black man, I like to really stick with topics of my videos addressing the dating, all that comes with both dating and relationships pertaining to the black community, the black American community. Anyway, like I was just saying, I find that so ironic. You could say I find it also delusional, comical in the sense how these same exact women that happen to have all these high requirements, these lists of high requirements, when it comes down to it, if they meet having to come into the opportune type of guy, and who most likely is usually Tyrone or Nook or Ray or Pookie, who they usually settle for the long run, don't you guys find it pretty funny? Let me ask you guys that maybe viewing this video, don't you find it funny how these same women who claim to have these high requirements and standards for a man, once they settle down, usually in most cases they always settle for a guy in that rank of either a Tyrone, a Nook, a Pookie, or a Ray Ray, instead of strictly sticking to a guy who they may have a standard or may have a checklist for, that they may got these checklists for. They always, in most cases, settle for the most lowest class of men they can, the most bottom of the barrel men, you could say, that they can. The type of men who may smoke cigarettes, and for all you women that like to smoke cigarettes or weed, whatever is your preference when it comes to smoking, can't even much afford to buy you a pack of blacks, Black and Mild. So some of you who may not know exactly what I mean by blacks can't even much afford to buy you, much less even one cigarette from the local corner store or gas station. The same kind of guys who can't, if you may have kids by these same kind of dudes. Some people call them dusty, other people may call them hood dudes, hood niggas. The same kind of guys who you may procreate with and have kids with, which most of you always pick to have kids from, either from or by the most lowest class of men that there are in the black community, only to complain about those men once you get dogged out by those type of men. Once those guys usually end up hauling ass on you or leaving you for another woman. The same kind of guys who usually cheat on you once they have a kid by you, even when they may be pregnant, or you may be pregnant by them, chances are they end up cheating on you. But you still fall for those kind of guys. The same type of women who claim to have so high of standards for a man. Anyway, these group of guys, can end up having kids by these same kind of toxic and dysfunctional guys. Can't even much, for crying out loud, afford to buy your kids a Happy Meal. But yet you still fall for these kind of guys. In the same breath, once you get done wrongfully by these type of guys, all of a sudden here you come creating these these very high checklists of standards and requirements that you expect for a man. Why not just have why from the very beginning not have those higher lists of requirements and standards for a man before you may fall for the guy that's the dusty kind of guy? Wouldn't that make more sense, instead of falling for the same kind of guy you make those standards out for, instead of selling for a guy that's the lowest on the totem pole before you start creating and having all these high standards? I'm just saying, black women, because your mentality, in my personal opinion, your mentality is so backwards. How you always settle for the lowest group of men on the totem pole, have kids by those guys, in most cases never marry those guys. Then once you get done wrongfully by those type of guys, all of a sudden you want that good, respectful man, that good, respectful, decent brother, and who in some cases may not have kids of his own, who you may want to take on a role to look after the toxic guys' children, the dysfunctional guys' children, the bad boys' children. I'm just saying, make that make sense to me for all you women with these high lists of standards and requirements. Anyway, I'm not going to keep on dragging this video, but before I end the video, I want you to first and foremost like the video, share the video, both the video on the channel, comment down below in the comment section. Last but not least, subscribe to the channel as well. So I'm going to end this video, and when all that being said and done, have a good day.